Hello, friends. The 1080th day of the war between Russia and Ukraine continues. The Ukrainian armed forces have been conducting counterattacks in the Kursk region for the second day. Yesterday morning, Russian military telegram channels began reporting a counterattack by the Ukrainian armed forces. According to their data, Ukrainian troops began attacking southeast of Sudzha in the direction of Cherkasskaya Konopelka, Fanasyevka, and Ulyanok. The enemy telegram channels believed that the goal of the attack was to retake the recently lost Cherkasskaya Konopelka and reach the rear of Russian troops advancing in the Juivo area, and at the same time to secure the supply route from Sumy. The Russian Defense Ministry later announced that it had repelled new Ukrainian attacks in the Kursk region. According to the Russian department, yesterday at 6 a.m., the Ukrainian armed forces carried out several attacks in the direction of Cherkasskaya Konopelka and Ulyanok, using up to 2 mechanized battalions on armored vehicles. Russian telegram channels published numerous videos throughout the day, allegedly with damaged equipment from the advancing columns of the Ukrainian armed forces. They also wrote that the Ukrainian troops failed to occupy the villages. But they noted that the fighting was continuing and new attacks were expected. Ukrainian military telegram channels wrote, without much detail, about the fact of the counterattack of the Ukrainian armed forces. I will note that yesterday marked exactly 6 months since the start of the offensive of the Ukrainian troops in the Kursk region. The day before, Zelensky made a statement that the Russians would not be able to dislodge the Ukrainian armed forces from the Kursk region in the near future, and the factor of having a bridgehead would be used in negotiations to end the war. Therefore, it is possible that the counterattack that began yesterday was to some extent timed to coincide with the round date in order to consolidate Zelensky's earlier statement and show that the Ukrainian troops have the initiative. Ukraine has not officially commented on the offensive in the Kursk region. Telegram channels close to the Ukrainian armed forces are reporting today that our forces are advancing southeast of Sudzha, but are not providing details on whether they have managed to consolidate their new positions. There are also no reports yet on the capture or blockade of populated areas. The American Institute for the Study of War writes that Ukrainian forces have launched a new series of mechanized attacks of up to a battalion in the Kursk region and have advanced up to 5 kilometers. There are no changes in the Kursk region on the deep state map yet. Ukrainian military bloggers also admit that Russian fiber-optic drones, which are not affected by weather or interference, are causing significant damage to equipment. Russian military telegram channels are reporting an attack by the Ukrainian army in the direction of the villages of Cherkasskaya Konopelka and Fanasyevka. Some enemy telegram channels are reporting the complete occupation of both villages by units of the Ukrainian armed forces. Others are writing that Ukrainian forces have landed troops near populated areas and that fighting is currently underway there. At the same time, the Ukrainian assault groups did not reach the probable main target of the offensive, the village of Ulyanok, as Russian telegram channels claim, having been stopped by Russian troops and occupied a number of plantations, for which fighting is still ongoing. The Russians claim that attempts to transfer reinforcements to these groups have been stopped and claim that the fighting is now positional. There has been no information about new major attacks by the Ukrainian armed forces today. At the same time, no one is pulling back the Ukrainian groups that have advanced, so the possibility of new attempts to break through cannot be ruled out. The Russians are already writing about the pull-up of Ukrainian reserves from the Sumy region. Despite the advance of the Ukrainian armed forces, the scenario so far is somewhat reminiscent of the Ukrainian army's offensive northeast of Sudzha, when Ukrainian units reached the village of Berdin in early January, but then the fighting became static, and it was not possible to develop the success. At the same time, Russian military observers, in contrast to that situation, claimed that Russia's defense in Cherkasskaya Konopelka was weakened on the eve of the attack, which the Ukrainian army took advantage of, managing to occupy a number of plantings north of Cherkasskaya Konopelka and Fanasievka. Russian telegram channels write about the removal of the brigade commander of the 11th Russian Brigade in connection with this. However, despite the outcome of this attack, the conclusion is clear: the armed forces of Ukraine continue to be supplied in the Kursk region at the first level and carry out fairly large attacks approximately once a month. That is, this means that the Ukrainian command is paying increased attention to the Kursk bridgehead. Friends, I understand that the duration of events is becoming less relevant for you, but for me, the situation is only getting worse. Those who have been with me for a long time know that preparing reports on this channel has become my main job, and I have no other job for obvious reasons. Lately, the channel has had few views, so I ask for your help. If you have the opportunity to support me with a cup of coffee, I will be very grateful. Thank you very much for understanding, and see you in the next video.